A warm Wednesday hello from Schellenberger Field in the Hill City as we prepare for another edition of ODAC Field Hockey. It features the Virginia Wesleyan Marlins and the red-hot Lynchburg Hornets. Evan Gates spending this afternoon with you, and wow, what a time to be a Lynchburg fan. Yet another doubleheader here on Schellenberger as men's soccer will follow up against Shenandoah, and another great field hockey contest for a squad that just seems to not be able to lose. They've come out in every single match, proven time and time again that they could be the squad that goes far this postseason. As we get ready here on Schellenberger, on Lynchburg, we'll take a look at the tail of the tape here momentarily. Lynchburg, who has won 7 straight, really feeling it, and you can see it in the stats, averaging over 3 goals a game. And shot percentage relatively even today, but it's going to be interesting to see possession stats and if Lynchburg holds on for most of it or if Virginia Wesleyan can make things happen on their end as we get ready to take a look as well at the gateway to success. Two squads that have to stay true to their playing style, and honestly, in any sport, on any field, it's all about doing what you know best, and Lynchburg is standing right now at 9-1 because they have come out time and time again, and their starters have really produced well, also getting great diversity from who is scoring throughout the season. It's just one of those things where Enza Steele, the head coach for Lynchburg, knows what she has on the bench, and she is really just going to continue to do what she does throughout. So we'll take a quick break here from Schellenberger, but on the other end, we'll have all the action on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. I 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it. The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. I 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
If you like being close with your professors, if you like being in small classes that help with one-on-one, if you like being in positive communities that help you train your weak points and strengthen your strong points, then the University of Lynchburg is a great place to go. You can never go wrong with the amount of help that they offer, the amount of self-sacrifice that other people will put in for you, It has a beautiful campus. It has dedicated teachers. It has nice students. It has fun activities, and it has plenty of things to do.
Today's a rough day. Jess and I are officially on a break. The couple canoe has broken up.
It's not.
Back live here at Schellenberger Field. Evan Gates in for Sam Graham today, and we got a great field hockey contest. Lynchburg and Virginia Wesleyan as we take a look at the gateway to success, the 28th all-time meeting. Lynchburg has a very strong hold on the series so far, but Virginia Wesleyan looking to maybe rattle that. And for Wesleyan, patience is key. They're going to have to really rely on their playing style and force pressure on Lynchburg's attack that we know has been extremely talented. 15 different Hornets have scored at least a goal in the past 7 outings. They've totaled 25 goals over that span, so very capable. And then Lynchburg has to find the cage early. 20-2 difference in the first half, favoring the Hornets in goals, and then cherish home cooking. They're going to finish the season with 6 of 8 games on the road, and so they've enjoyed this span here at Schellenberger, but we know that there are some very difficult matchups looming. And Virginia Wesleyan, as we said, hoping to ruffle their feathers a little bit as ODAC play is really here for good now. It's that part of the season where you can really put the preseason or the early season narratives out the window. It's a new dynamic that's really going to shift throughout this team, and I think that Enza Steele has to be happy with the way her squad has been performing so far, and Lynchburg just continuing to keep things going. With a win today, they would be 10-1. It would be the best start since 2011. Enza Steele, we know, has seen many seasons for Lynchburg, but it would be a great way to begin this retirement tour, as her final season has had pretty much everything right for the Hornets. We're going to see what happens today. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starters here, beginning with Virginia Wesleyan. And one of those key players for the Marlins is Catherine Druitt. 4 goals, 2 assists on the season. She has been phenomenal. We'll see what she can do. Lauren Hedspeth, Ava Stotch, Mary Rufflin, Willow Baker, Danny Polson, Brianna Gable, Hannah Goodrow, Madeline Gonsalves, Amanda Loesch, and Emily Moniz. In the cage is DJ Holesclaw for the Marlins as we get things underway. And quickly, the Hornets in their black uniforms here at home getting possession early and trying to put the pressure on. And let's take a look at those Hornets here on Schellenberger. It's a very similar lineup to what we've seen. A few changes for Enza Steele's squad as the Marlins trying to send it the other way and also keep that possession early on. In the cage for the Hornets in the purple, it's Kayla Brady, the senior from Millsboro, Delaware, as she is 8 saves away from cracking that top 10 list for Lynchburg. We'll see if she can do that today. Kanye Mazizi, Danny Kuhn, Mallory Lamb, Riley Cameron, Olivia Muir, Marlu Vendrick. She has been phenomenal all season up front. Kessa Schaefer, Aaron Boatwright, Renee Van Thiel, and Olivia Van Meter will get the start. And very quickly we see the Hornets will have their first penalty corner of the contest. Aaron Boatwright typically takes those, and Lynchburg has allowed them to pile up early on the season. We'll see if they can take advantage early on. We touched on the fact that Lynchburg would love to get an early goal. As Boatwright lines up on the outside, we'll wait to get things started.
Lynchburg, penalty corner.
Lynchburg's defense on the other side has allowed just 3 goals in the past 7 games. They have been dominant, to say the least. Hornets trying to get in action early on. Vendricks took a look back. This ball will just rattle out. Masks down, and will regroup. Marlou Vendricks, one of those difference makers for Lynchburg. 8 goals, 6 assists on the season. She had career goal number 25 recently. And the sophomore from Utrecht Netherlands just wreaking havoc on pretty much everyone she's seen this season. She is not afraid to score and not afraid to get her teammates involved as well. Lynchburg hoping to share it around a little bit. Nice passing display up front. Mizizzi, we know her speed and her talent. Tries to swipe one. This one will stay put. And now heading the other way. The Marlins and the Hornets here on Schellenberger. Early Wednesday afternoon action. As Kuhn will take her time. And Lynchburg sports in general for this fall season, they have been very strong in their opening, and I think that it's one of those parts of the season that really starts to test your endurance. And for Lynchburg, we know that there are going to be difficult matchups coming up. They have some ranked opponents that are lingering on the road. We know they have Keene and Swarthmore, as Lynchburg will have to hold that thought, staying close to the goal, and once again we'll head the other way. Excuse me, that will be a penalty corner. And Lynchburg will have their second of the contest. Lynchburg's last time out was against Shenandoah. It was a come-behind victory, really their first of the season. They had led wire to wire in the previous 8 wins, so you know that they are comfortable trying to start the action early. Here's Boatwright. This one will fall through. Still maintaining possession up front. Boatwright back down, can't corral this one. Saw Riley Cameron involved. She's been on the field pretty much every moment of this season for Lynchburg, and the consistency throughout the lineup is definitely what you want to see, knowing who you can trust. The Hornets will take everything they can get. Heading the other way, here's Van Meter. Working to maintain possession. And still working nice, but it's going to be a save from DJ Holzclaw. Holzclaw, 72 of them on the season. Typically starting for the Marlins. This is a Marlins squad that doesn't take a lot of shots, but when they take them, when they have possession, they have been accurate and have gotten the results they've needed. Lynchburg still trying to stay in that attacking half of the field. Here's Danny Kuhn standing out wide. It's all about energy, and Lynchburg has had lots of it. Trying to keep things rolling, and you look at your attack, that's always a positive sign. And making sure that you work early as another penalty corner is on its way. "21 penalty corners for Virginia Wesleyan between their matchup with Roanoke. That's total penalty corners. Lynchburg's Marlou Vendricks tries to get this one in. Mizizzi still trying to cause trouble. And Lynchburg knocking on the door, trying to break it down early on. Here's that look from Marlou Vendricks. Another nice job from Holzclaw. Virginia Wesleyan will take it the other way. Riley Vandervelde, the coach for Virginia Wesleyan in her second season. We know about Enza Steele and her long tenure with Lynchburg. If you've watched this program or just Lynchburg sports in general, you've certainly heard the narrative. Also a lacrosse coach as she began her time in Lynchburg. Van Meter still running strongly. Mizizzi, or excuse me, that's Aaron Boatwright on the far side. We'll see if she can get it inside. Trying to get it into that middle, and another great job, but it will be out for another penalty corner. They have kept Aaron Boatwright busy. They might get close to that tally that Wesleyan Roanoke matchup had their last time out. And we'll see what the Hornets can do again in action as Boatwright feeds it in. Vendrick's going to take a long shot. Just putting the ball in play is always a positive sign for an offense, and sometimes you don't have to connect, you just have to do enough to where you can either get that penalty corner or force the teams to make decisions, especially defenses where you can exploit the holes and loops and try to find a way through. That's what Lynchburg's trying to do. Goes back out to the top. Kuhn going to work this one inside. Bounces just shy of that post. Wesleyan will try and put something together. Referee will make her take a couple steps back to the middle of the field. If you're just joining us here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network, appreciate you spending your afternoon here watching Division III field hockey. It's Lynchburg and Virginia Wesleyan. Near side. Here's Lynchburg trying to work to the middle. Zizzi dished it off. Back and forth. Lynchburg is keeping that Wesleyan defense pretty busy as they will have another penalty corner. Lynchburg just waiting. You have to think with the amount of attempts they're. And Salvis. Ball to the top of the striking circle. It was a nice shot. Brady is out and doing what she can. Finally, Lynchburg will get out of it. Kayla Brady, the IQ, just to extinguish the threat momentarily. Penalty corner like that, you just try and change up the landscape, see if you can put the Marlins in a different position. Lynchburg does just that. Lamb working down the sideline. She has Vendricks if she wants it. Pass near the middle of the field. Marlou doing what she can to get the stick in there. This one's going to stay in as Lamb once again with possession. Lynchburg doesn't take long to reset on those fouls and miscues. Hence the reason that they have really been able to play at the pace that they enjoy. Lots of quickness throughout this lineup. It always helps when you have Kanya Mizizzi up front. Touched on that earlier in the first half, and anytime if you've watched this Lynchburg field hockey team, you understand what they can bring to the table. Another penalty corner. Time the shot choppy, but wide of the cage. So Virginia Wesleyan looks to smooth things out. Lynchburg trying to press high, and another one of those passes just seems a little forced. Just trying to advance the ball up the field, and then you get situations like this where it might play to your advantage. Micah Uchis has come on. She's on near side of the field. She gets it now, working toward the cage. Right to left action up front. Balsamo had a shot, unable to connect. And Lynchburg still staying in the zip code, looking to find goal number 8. And nice work just to kick this one out, forcing the Hornets to reset. 53 seconds in the third quarter. We'll see if Lynchburg is able to add on. So many contributions across the board. We mentioned Vendricks, who had a shot. It's the 8th straight game with a point. And that category, 15 different Hornets who have scored. And the past 7 outings, that was before today. Lynchburg has just found the right scoring. .7-6 left. Virginia Wesleyan might have to force something, but we'll get a call back, and that is how the third quarter will end here on Schellenberger. 15 minutes to play to finalize things in the Hill City. It's Lynchburg 7, Virginia Wesleyan nothing.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities, learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible, by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the Athletic Training Laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship as a win-win situation. You learn, and that helps us win.
Fourth quarter set to get underway here on Schellenberger Field. Evan Gates filling in for Sam Graham today. And it's all Hornets as we enter the final 15. Apologies for some of our streaming issues earlier here in the contest. We're glad you're joining us now, the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network, and we know the variability of some of the conditions. Internet sometimes a problem, but we're happy to have things set and ready for the final quarter. Lynchburg still moving left to right, and they will advance to 10-1 with a win today if the results hold. Still first in the conference, and get the impression that you got to play and not necessarily mind the scoreboard. I think the Hornets understand it's about really sharpening their tools early in ODAC play. We've seen it across the lineup, 7 different scores today. It would be interesting to get a stat around the NCAA just of teams and their scoring summaries, because while it seems high with how many Lynchburg attackers and everyone on the roster, people who have gotten involved, it's just not always about one or two players. We would be curious to see what that looks like across D3. It's the Hornets still maintaining possession. So you see the shadows starting to creep around on Schellenberger. 7 o'clock start time for men's soccer against Shenandoah, so there will be a bit of a break. Andy Watson will have you covered for that one, along with Sydney Metz, who is on this Lynchburg field hockey team. She is always willing to go out and help LHSN. If you remember the Shenandoah matchup, that was about as big of a climax as you could get in a field hockey game. Lynchburg came away with the victory in their first OT game since 2022, and that was the title game. 7-game win streak. It's the longest since an 8-game win streak last season. You have to travel real far to find that one, and this program is continuing to trend in the right direction. Mentioned as well with Virginia Wesleyan, second-year head coach, and you can also sense that there's a positive horizon when you get a new outlook, new staff involved. Everyone's direction is just a little bit different. And the Marlins still searching for the first goal here today, looking to get on the scoreboard. But it's a Lynchburg team that has shut out many opponents, and credit can go to the defense or Kayla Brady in the cage. Playing a little bit deeper here in the second half, but still working forward. Vendrick's pass was a little behind, but the Hornets able to keep pushing. Dorstein a little too comfortable with it. Hornets maintain possession out front. Megan Stifler had it. Here is Weinfordner. Action inside the striking circle, and Virginia Wesleyan takes possession. And the Hornets have done a nice job of just closing down the sidelines. As you see, Vendricks takes a shot. And a little bit of power behind that. We'll take a moment, make sure everyone is okay. This is number 18, Emily Moniz. And if you're unfamiliar with field hockey or just starting to learn the sport, that will sting a little bit. Ball is not exactly soft or easy to deal with by any means, as Lynchburg trying to move and get rid of the threat, but Wesleyan doing a nice job of just moving forward a foot at a time into the striking circle, but unable to get a real chance. And 10 minutes to play. 10 minutes separating the Hornets from the best start since 2011. Numbers don't always factor in. You have to keep playing, and we know that a team that's hot early in the season, they might not be at the end, but I don't think that's crossing Lynchburg's mind very much, and we know with the characters throughout this lineup that they are capable of making things happen. Caleb Brady for Lynchburg was substituted out of the game. Samira Garavi in the cage for the Hornets. And Vendricks. Ball gets away, but it's still in the mix. Dorstein had a shot. And the Marlins will regain possession. It's just a touch too far. This one a whiff, and Lynchburg moves the other way. Lots of whistles and field hockey. If you look at some of the other fall sports and volleyball and soccer, it's a very different type of game, and it's just such an interesting playing style. It affects how you go about your business. Good squads can take advantage of those whistles, and Lynchburg, a squad that doesn't like to waste time. And now, with 8 minutes to play, just looking to bleed out the final minutes. Perfect day here in the Hill City. Expecting some colder temperatures at the end of the week, and you always get excited that fall has officially arrived, but there's always a week, some point deep into October or November, where you see those temperatures rise again. So expectations don't always meet reality. Lynchburg time and patience, and now an open opportunity. Vendricks wishes she could have that one back. It was just wide. She finds space so well. Knowing the field is a very important trait of just improving your game. It's being able to know where your teammates are at and also knowing your role. And I think Marlou Vendricks up front knows that her pressure and her aggression can make some great things happen for the Hornets, as Megan Stifler will wind up. This one will just travel onto the track, opposite side of the field. Only matchup the Hornets have lost this season against Ursinus. That was here on Schellenberger. You have to go back to September 9th, which was that contest, to remember the last time that a Lynchburg sport lost on Schellenberger Field. So including the soccer teams as well. Always helps disposition and demeanor when your fellow athletes around campus are succeeding, and takes a lot of the guesswork out of your execution. Just hoping to keep that energy. Division III, an organization that really thrives off the energy, and it goes back especially to some of those theme days. As hold that thought, Virginia Wesleyan has an opening, and the Marlins still in the striking circle. We saw Catherine Druitt, who had a chance for the Marlins, tied for the team lead with 4 goals. Lauren Hedspeth is the other half of that tie. But Lynchburg's matchup against Ursinus was Code Red matchup, and that's where everyone around campus really wearing red coming out to support. And you always hope that momentum off games like that will carry over, especially for the fans in attendance. And Lynchburg will pack the cage. It's a Marlins penalty corner. Clock stops with 4:32 to play. And we'll wait as the Marlins set to play it in. They send it out to the top of the circle, and we'll get another call from the referee. Lynchburg has it. Again, quickly taking action and looking to move up the field. Nice work from Goodrow just to get her stick in there and running wild. Someone trying to hold possession. Back to the Marlins. Heads up plays on either side. Lynchburg working on the far side of the field. Can sense that they know they have time. Here's Dorstein. Sends it out front. Will it be corralled is the question. Goalie came out. Van Meter, what a shot. It was a laser. The far side of the field, and Olivia Van Meter has done it again. Career high 2 goals. In a recent matchup, she comes right back, and she is still firing. Take a look at this. Goalie came out, wind back, aim, fire. It's clinical for Van Meter as the Hornets now leading 8-0. Those are the shots you might see in the highlight reel as Olivia Van Meter has continued to stay hot for the Hornets. Seems like everyone getting energy and finding the cage at the right time. Credit as well to Dorstein on the last play. She found Van Meter up front. Goes to show you don't have to let something develop for a super long time. You can get a quick spurt and find the openings. And 2:30 remaining here on Schellenberger. Again, stick around for men's soccer. 7 o'clock start time. Dorstein still moving nicely into the striking circle. Near the cage. Ball gets lost in the mix. And a penalty corner will be credited to the Hornets. Now north of 30 shots in this contest. It's all about having efficiency with those results as well. So you see the play that leads to the corner. Dorstein will take it. Player of the week. And seeming to prove why she has been so crucial to this Hornets squad. It gets away, and the Marlins might have numbers going the other way. Polson had it, lost it. And Lynchburg sends it the other way. Still taking time just to get it into the mix. Will Dorstein wind up and take it? Looks like Hedspeth did enough just to send it out. Here's Stifler. Pinballs around. Dorstein took the shot and about a foot wide. Shows the confidence. It's a nice effort from the freshman. Time and place so crucial. Final minute of play. And the stat sheet will really tell the story of this ODAC affair. Lynchburg travels to Washington and Lee on Saturday. That 1 o'clock start time, hoping to extend their win streak as they have today. Just 25 seconds away, and for Virginia Wesleyan, still just looking to right the ship in ODAC play. It won't happen here in the Hill City, but a team with potential and time to reach it. And the final seconds here from Schellenberger, it's going to be Lynchburg that comes out victorious 8-0. And so many players involved throughout this contest, so many different goals, and we see Olivia Van Meter, the only one with 2. 7 Hornets were on the scoreboard in today's contest, and the best start since 2011 for Enza Steele's program that just seems to keep humming as very tough competition awaits them on the road. But for now, they can stay home happy with this result as it's 8-0 from Schellenberger Field. As we said, 7 o'clock start time for men's soccer as they take on Shenandoah. But for now, we are going to step away here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. I'm Evan Gates saying so long from the Hill City.